the cost of funds is so expensive and there is no collaboration to see these businesses, especially the LPG space. So I run a plant and I have to deal with the fact that we need to meet up at the terminal to buy our products, turnaround time back to the plant, but we don't have enough funds to enable us to be as competitive as we should. So I don't know how you can support the LPG space by action.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adesi from Stockgap Fuels Limited in Port Harcourt. And my question will go to the banks, FCMB and Fidelity. Coming from a depot level in the value chain, I would like to find out from the two banks what support they grant to terminal operators in terms of sourcing foreign exchange to augment with their LPG supplies. So we've spoken about how the cost of LPG is really high, and we know, congratulations to to NLNG rather, for supplying LPG to the market. This intervention has been really helpful, especially in recent times. But we know where our demand is right now, 1.3 million metric tons per annum. NLNG is only able to supply 450,000. That leaves a huge gap. So what support is available to people like us to source foreign exchange, to finance importation of LPG, to bridge that gap and lower the ex-depot and ultimately the consumer price of LPG?
My name is Ade Balogun, MD of Negoa Energy. And I just want to speak a little bit to what the lady from ASICO touched on regarding collateralization. My company, for instance, has been looking to do a gas depot, a 5,000 metric ton gas depot in Sapele. We've been at it for quite a while, but you always run into this chicken and egg scenario where they want you to collateralize the whole project. Now, I think you have to approach these gas projects especially from a project finance perspective, as opposed to a corporate finance perspective. The cash flows of the project that you are proposing should be able to serve as the leeway for you to be able to get the funding you want. Ultimately, what you put in place, the infrastructure, will now become the collateral. Because the way we're doing things in Nigeria, I don't see how we're going to develop any serious gas infrastructure. Because right now, the gas penetration in Nigeria is so low. And I think we should leverage on our gas, because that is the best thing that can get us out of these financial problems that we find ourselves as a country. Crude oil is no more what it used to be, but gas is a good one for Nigeria, and we have so much gas. So I think that if you're looking to collateralize a 30 billion naira project, I mean, where do you get the collateral in reality? Which means that 80% of the projects are not going to happen. Thank you.
All right. Over to the panelists. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have the panelists. You have 2 questions for the bankers. Chinwe.
Okay, let me take it from the last person that spoke. Yeah, you are making a lot of sense in what you have lined out. But I have to tell you, from my own banking perspective and from the project we have funded, usually, apart from your own stake or your own collateral, we also consider what we are funding in terms of projects as being part of the collateral. But again, we will just take part of what you can present and merge it with the project we are financing to make it up, to adequate collateral for the project we'll be funding. So it's not usually that you must provide the total amount by your own self. You must provide the total security. I just want to correct that fact. From my own bank, we will take part of that, we will take that 100% of that project as collateral. Then we will also require you to bring a bit to show your stake in the business. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Thank
the other
you.
question from the lady, who's going to attend to it?
Which one? Okay, to
gas
support
plant, yes.
SMEs.
Yes.
Okay. And FX.
yeah.
So for SME, so each bank has an SME play. He also has his corporate business play. For SMEs, the rules are a bit more relaxed, right? But there's the stance of history in business. The bank needs to know how you're operating. The bank needs to know what you need, because there are two main uses of funds, by businesses. Either in an expansion mode, so you're just starting and you want to start at a particular scale, or you're at a scale and you're moving to another scale. And there's the working capital finance. I think if you go to your bank, or if you want to come to our bank, what we'll do is to do that diagnostics for you, to know whether it is working capital you need from your example that you said, which is buying products, from the terminal. And that you don't need a collateral, in the sense that I've told you that for SME businesses, a percentage of your turnover is given to you as a loan to support your ongoing business. Then when you want to do an expansion in itself is uses of funds to acquire assets. And those assets will now come to the pool as your collateral. So that's how it's easy for us to deal with it.
Oh, okay. Because of time, the last question on, I think, Forex.
On FX.
Yes, Forex.
On FX, we all know the challenges with FX in country at the moment. But you have the following sources. One is taking you to bids with the CBN, of which the FX will be rationed to all the qualifying parties. Then the second is the I&E window, which is not that much liquid now. Others are available if you have your own exports. So just to put it in a nutshell, we're all struggling, with FX liquidity, and it's within the ambit of what we have that we try to meet your needs. So it's not something we can promise you that we can give you, but we can take you to CBN for bids and also share our I&E window liquidity with you.
Yeah. So on that note, I think we'll end it here, and please give a round of applause to our panelists. We appreciate your presence. I'll hand it back to the MC.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator.